Welcome to The Push. I'm Steve Machine Curran.
I'm Kevin Big Daddy Allwood.
And today we've got two special guests. We have Maddy.
I don't have a cool nickname.
Maddy and Bentley.
And we have,
Yeah, Bentley's downstairs.
And we have little Ace.
Ace.
Oh,
Ace is how old now?
8 weeks.
8 weeks. And Ace is chilling with Daddy.
Yeah, he's just hanging. He should be alright.
So today we've got Maddy, our friend, on the show. Welcome, Maddy.
Thank you.
She's got an interesting story, a journey of weight loss and recovery, and some other cool things. So, but first, I just want to mention my sleep apnea machine's not working. So
Why do you do this?
So I haven't been sleeping. So hence I've been
How long's it not been working for?
about a month. So
So you've been risking death every time you go to sleep for a month.
So the other day,
Okay,
I
cool.
I didn't sleep
Not gonna
very
be
well.
shocked about that.
Risks death every
All
day
the
of his life.
time.
Yeah.
That frustrates me.
When Maddy calls me Stephen, I know I'm in trouble.
Well, that's right.
It's like my mum.
Does Gab knows it's broken?
Yeah, Gab's got her own issues.
I'm going to talk to her.
So I was picking up Bianca from school the other day, and you know how does this happen at your school where you line up in a car?
We have that.
Yeah.
My boys' school is one street away from mine.
see what-
I very rarely pick them up in the car. Yeah,
Right.
You're lucky.
Well, my daughter wants to be one of the cool kids that actually gets picked up out the
I
front.
always wanted to
Yeah,
be that kid, and
yeah.
my mum always worked till like 6 or 7, so I never
The
got picked
Lexus
up.
would be approved of, wouldn't it?
Well, that's right. So she wants to be picked up. But on this particular day, there was about 10 cars in front of me and about 20 behind me, and I'm sat there waiting. And I thought, I'll just have a little rest. I was in park. Car was in park. Just a little rest.
That's
And-
not a good idea in a car.
No,
Ever.
with the car
Ever.
running.
Ever.
And next thing I know, there's a tap on the window. I go, oh, and the whole school is staring at me, like waiting for me to move forward. There's 20 cars behind me.
Didn't
And-
they beep?
No, I guess they didn't know what was going on. And Bianca's there. She gets in the car and says,
Oh my God,
you
how
are the most
embarrassing.
embarrassing daddy ever.
Had all the 10 cars in front of you.
Of course, yeah. They're all gone. And she said, the principal who opened the door for Bianca said, at least the car was in park, I guess.
Wow. I've fallen asleep at traffic lights just having a quick shut eye at traffic lights.
Yeah.
Also, very bad.
Yeah.
You probably have sleep apnea as well.
Do you reckon?
Do you snore?
Nah.
What does your missus say?
I've never woken myself up from it.
No, I actually wake. Mine's so bad. Well, not so much now because I lost weight, but when I was really heavy, I would be so bad. I'd constantly wake up gasping for air
Yeah, wow.
and angry. When I wake up in the morning, angry.
Are your passageways blocked?
Isn't it
or-
your tongue goes against your throat or something? Doesn't
Yeah.
your tongue fall back?
Yes.
Isn't that why you're
You're,
laughing?
I thought
because
you-
he's trying to make some sort of oral sex
okay.
joke.
No, I was not, but I thought you had overcome your gag reflex.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. So what actually happens is the well, wait, there's more. There's the soft palate actually collapses, especially when you lie on your back, and so it's
That's how people like
OD.
overdose and die and stuff.
That's
It's
what
just,
when they say
Yeah.
swallow your tongue, it's actually that. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
Maybe
Well,
that's just a phrase.
You can't actually swallow your tongue.
but that's why you got to put them in the recovery position.
on their side.
I sleep best face down, kind of on the side,
Yeah,
pretty much
it's
like the
just
recovery position.
Probably what you're used to, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the side.
Face down on the pillow. Anyway, Maddy. So I train Maddy at the gym,
Yes.
and she's awesome.
I've seen her.
And
Yesterday.
so is that,
once.
had you seen her in the gym before?
No.
I had never seen him in the. I'd seen you once
No, I would have noticed you.
when you were walking in, and I was like, "Oh hi," gonna say hello to you, and then I was like, "I actually don't know him." So
That's happened a couple of
awkward.
times now.
Yeah, it's happened.
It's pretty cool.
Is it?
Well,
From
it's
the
like
podcast.
it's like people know you from the podcast.
You're like podcast famous.
Yeah.
Absolutely so famous to 23 people.
Yeah.
So what? And you
Actually-
lost a lot of weight through Vision PT.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say the name.
Why
Yeah,
not?
say the name because we know the guy who started it, which is Jeff Jowett.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Do you know Jeff Jowett? The
Not
Jowett method?
personally.
He trains at the gym.
I didn't even know who it was till you told me that.
All right, well, he started the thing. But
Yeah.
so you were a big heifer.
How big were you?
I wasn't that. I was like at my heaviest.
We should have showed Kevin the photo.
Yeah, you can't. I have like no photos at all.
You must have.
I have literally 2,
Yeah.
and they're photos that like I don't have any freaking selfies. They're photos that have like been taken of me.
Yes.
So I'm like in a crowd, so
Right.
you can't really.
Oh, the one you
What
showed
about-
me was pretty.
What about like family when you Like, I don't know, mum and dad?
So-
photos?
No, not really of that time. So I've always been like really, really. I feel weird talking.
You just talk to us. Talk
Okay.
to us. Just
I've
forget
always
that's there.
been really like I've always been slim like my whole life, and then when I started using, I put on a bit of weight, and I guess what made me get like that. So at my heaviest, I was like 87,
Right.
and I'm not tall. I'd be
Right.
5'5".
Well, you're at least the same height as me, who's about 6'4".
I think I'm taller than you. I think I'm actually
You must be
taller
6'2"
than you.
then.
Okay, it must be. So when I got to my biggest, like it was at the end of my using, and I was really miserable, and I also didn't really move for about 18 months.
Mm.
Like I had really bad psychosis. I didn't leave the house. I didn't put my rubbish out for 18 months because like I would have to walk to the bin bay, and that was too
So
much.
your rubbish accumulated inside the house?
In the kitchen.
I bet it smelled great in there.
Oh, I don't actually remember it smelling.
Oh, it would have smelled.
Yeah, probably would have.
You leave stuff for 2 weeks.
I
and it
didn't do
smells.
any because I had like I was living in this like fucking
On your own?
squat on my own. Yeah. Oh well, my partner at the time was there. But I was living in this squat out the back of Rydalmere, and they had like communal laundry. So I just didn't do washing.
I've heard this story.
Wow.
I would just buy new undies
Buy new
every week.
undies.
Because for some reason in my fried brain, going to Kmart and buying undies was fine, but walking from my flat to the shared laundry was overwhelming. I
weird.
could not do
We're
it.
interacting with neighbours.
Yeah, people that you would see
Yeah.
more than once. Kmart or
Yeah.
whatever, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
So Mayweather has a new pair of underwear every day. And
Yeah,
shoes.
he was.
not from psychosis.
Yeah, he's probably doing a bit better financially
That's
as well.
from from
Probably
millions
given-
of money.
Probably actually given to him too.
When you said was that what you use, but I mean that's weird because most people, if they don't usually eat.
Yeah, so like my two substances of choice was pot and crystal meth.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't really use crystal every day. Like
Right.
I would only use it when we could afford it, which wasn't every day.
Right,
So I'd probably use crystal like once a week.
right.
So I'd go on like a big binge and not eat, but then
Right.
for like the remaining 4 days, I would just eat takeaway.
Punch
I
cones.
drank punch cones. I drank like 2-litre bottles of Pepsi every single day.
Of full
Oh.
strength Pepsi.
Yeah,
Damn.
every day. That's all. I didn't drink water. That's all I would drink.
Right.
Like, and I would.
That'll pack it on.
Yeah.
How long, just to back it up slightly, this length of time that you were using, how long did that go for the whole duration of
The whole duration, probably
until you quit?
from when I picked up to when I quit would have been 19 to 24.
5 years.
So 5 years, but
Wow.
the last 2 to 3 were like
Probably.
really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I mean, Kev used to be a bit of a pot advocate, and
Yeah.
and it's and we see people that we respect, like people like Joe Rogan that are all for it,
Yeah.
and I've lost lots of people though through just smoking, through
Yeah.
suicide and psychosis and paranoia.
Yeah.
See,
I think it kind of like I actually think you should legalize everything.
Right.
Legalize
Oh, yeah.
everything, tax it, and make sure it doesn't have any shit in it, so you know exactly what's in it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the drug or the person?
I think it's the
though?
person.
It's a person for sure.
Because I don't mind a smoke of weed, and there have been times in my life when I've had it every day.
Yeah.
But I could just stop.
Yeah.
You stopped for a year, didn't you?
And I've never, and there've been intermittent paranoia, like stutters but nothing major, nothing that was like really depressing or freaking out and losing it, like obviously what the people you know.
But you
But-
also started later in life as well. When did you
That's
first
true.
smoke pot?
I had a puff on a few joints when I was a teenager,
Oh, right,
still
okay.
15,
Oh, right.
16, but then didn't really get anything from it. So not until I was 22.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess the difference between me and you is when you want to stop, you stop.
Yes.
And that is the difference of like an addict and
There's
a normal
probably one or
person.
two other differences between you and me.
No, but I'm saying without use. Like I wanted to stop and couldn't.
Couldn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And
What would happen if you go for like more time? Like, let's say you were used to it every 2 hours. Say, what would happen if you get to 2.5 hours?
I just wouldn't get to 2.5 hours.
Right. you never even tested that. You
Um,
never tried to stop.
yeah, like I tried. I guess like I
He's-
got into recovery.
He's pretty much out.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
It's like he's had a cone.
I got into like I went to my first meeting when I was 20, and kind of like was introduced to that whole thing and
It's an AA meeting. Type
NA,
thing.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Just for our viewers, so you are aware of.
I don't think this counts as press, radio, or film.
No, maybe not.
On
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not press. It's not radio. It's a podcast.
What's podcast?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're not promoting
so,
it. You're not promoting it either.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, there's just like rules.
Yeah.
Rules. Recovery rules.
Tradition.
So you didn't get it at 20 though, obviously.
No, like I just went in and out for ages.
Did you go back to? So you actually did do
I have
meetings.
done
on and off?
yeah, on and off. I've
Right.
done every 3-week program in the state multiple times.
Right.
And I guess like what would happen back then is like my life would kind of fall to pieces and I would run out of money or I would have nowhere to stay or I would piss too many people off or, you know, all that external stuff would kind of fall apart.
Yeah.
And I would go like, oh, shit. Like, and I'd throw myself into rehab and like I got clean. Like that was fine. That was never an issue. Like I've never used in a detox. As soon as I was in a detox, I was like, sweet.
Controlled environment.
Yeah. Like dose me up with some Valium, make me sleep, you know, like I'm all good.
Right.
But as soon as I would leave, like it would be a matter of days and I would use again.
Yeah.
And then I would be kind of off, stuck until the next crisis
Until
happened.
things got bad enough again.
Yeah, until my using was stopped by something outside of myself.
Right.
So until I ran out of money or my boyfriend broke up with me or the dealer got arrested or something happened that prevented me from using and I would be like, oh, this is too hard. And I'd throw myself into it.
Emotional triggers?
Not really at that time. And then I guess in that stage, it was all about me not being able to use.
Yeah.
And then
Were you working at the time?
Oh, not really.
Right.
On and off, like cash in hand, like odd jobs. I never like worked properly.
In that whole 5 years?
No.
Yeah, right.
No.
Can't really get ahead then, can you? Too easily. Like if you're trying to sort your shit out, you know.
Well, and that's the thing is that like I never tried. Like I knew that I was powerless and that my life was completely fucked.
So you accepted that to some degree.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Did you contemplate what the end, where it was heading?
No,
Your life?
not really. Yeah.
Did you? What I'm trying to get at, were you in a state of mind where you didn't really care?
Yeah. I was like, that's okay with me. All I want is to just use drugs all the time and to be left alone. And I guess like after, so I did my first long term in 2000
Long-term rehab.
Yeah, in 2015, I think I was 21. I was 21.
In a centre?
Yeah. So I was there for like 5 months, and that was like the longest amount of time I'd gotten up since I first started trying to get clean.
Did you have to pay for that?
No, Centrelink. You pay with your Centrelink.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
And
the
how
public
long were you
ones.
in there for?
I was in there for 5 months.
Right.
And was it weed? Or both?
Yeah, but I was mostly weed at that point.
Right.
But I'd used other stuff like on and off. Like I would use whatever. And then after I left, I had a big feeling and I was like, fuck you. I do what I want.
Yeah.
And I chucked all my stuff into garbage bags and rang someone that I hooked up with in detox and said, come pick me up.
Yeah.
Knowing that he was using.
Yep.
And I literally got in the car and had a cone. I was like, let's go. Like I knew what I was doing. Do you know what? Like I knew that it wasn't, I knew that I was kind of like
Signing up again.
Yeah.
Signing back up to the ride.
checking out.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I guess so that was like that was the beginning of the last kind of 2 or 3 years. And that's when like things got really bad. And I guess I was kind of like, it's not like kind of smart in a way. I was like, I know how I use. Like I know
If it's on,
that
it's
if it's
all
on, it's
all
on.
in, all
Like
in.
I need to use as much as I can, as often as I can. And so I'm going to orchestrate my life to facilitate that.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Did your tolerance build quite quickly?
Yeah, always. Yeah, always.
What did you get up to?
Oh, God. Like, when I talk about it now, it seems so hectic, but, like, I was, like, so blasé about it at the time. So, I I guess I like got at first I got myself this little flat, and like I was just like on Centrelink and seeing this guy that was like a really bad stoner and just like using every day with him. And then like they have like, I don't know if they have it around here, but they have like where I live, they have like a pot run. So like people like drive around in cars and
Deliver pot.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So then I started going out with the guy who did the run, because
Yeah.
I was like, that would just be 2 birds, 1 stone. Do you know what I mean? Like that would be
Yeah.
so convenient.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was.
Yeah, it was. Like I couldn't stand him. He was awful, but it was
Free pot.
it was really convenient.
On tap.
And then we moved into a house that was paid for by the run. And we, now I feel like I shouldn't know if I should be talking about this, but we, so I was the packer. So every week we'd go out to, I don't even know where it was anymore, like bumfuck nowhere, and get like pounds of weed in packs and bring it back to the house and then pack it into saddies and then give it to the guys and they drive around and deal it. So I got paid to do that, and then my rent was paid as well, and I got weed for free.
Yes. Well,
So I didn't have to do
Win-win.
anything. Like, it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Were you happy at that time?
No,
Like,
I was fucking miserable.
yeah.
I was really miserable.
Associating with people you don't particularly like.
And I hated him.
Right.
And we fought. He was awful. He was a psycho.
It's amazing what you put up with
Yeah.
in active addiction. You
Yeah.
know, what you
But I
want.
needed him to facilitate my
Sure,
lifestyle.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So I guess after, like, I was really quite miserable with him. And I just began to, like, steal weed. Like, and I had this little stockpile because I knew I was going to leave.
Right.
So I had this little stockpile set up. I started stealing money. So I had money saved up. And I actually did a detox to get away from him. I think I was in there for like 10 days or something. But
stash your stash, went into detox,
yeah,
came out, grabbed your stuff.
came out, grabbed my shit and left and got
So what was the point of the detox? Just
to
get
get
away.
away from him.
Oh, okay.
Say, I've got to go here.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay.
To be like, I've got to
Because
get
that's
clean, blah, blah, blah,
legitimate.
blah.
But you knew it was only going to be temporary because you
Yeah.
stashed all that weed and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't, I didn't want to get clean. I just
No.
wanted to get away
Just
from
have
him.
a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not even to break, just to get away
From him. No,
yeah.
from
Yeah.
him. Yeah,
From
yeah,
him.
yeah.
And I knew it wasn't, like, if I said, like, I'm going to go now, like, it's not.
It's
It
not
wouldn't
gonna
have happened.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have allowed it.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to detox. I need to get clean, blah, blah, blah. And that was my get out of jail free card from him. So from there, I moved into like another, this is the flat where I never did washing or anything,
Right.
in Rydalmere.
Right.
You know Housos?
Yeah.
Sure.
So that is filmed at Ermington Houso, which is the next suburb over from Rydalmere.
Right.
Like it is.
I watched that the other night.
So
For the
you know-
first time, I watched the whole episode. That was hilarious.
So you know
Oh.
Rania?
Yeah.
Me and Rania used to hang out in her Ermo Houso flat.
Right.
Which one? Yeah.
Not that,
different
no.
Rania.
Ah.
Different Rania.
Different Rania.
You never watched that
I didn't. No. Yeah.
It
Bits of
literally, I can't watch it. I can't watch it.
Okay,
I'm
right,
like,
yeah.
oh my god,
There's
like I get
always-
triggered.
There's all these
Is it-
stereotype characters that
Is
live in the neighbourhood.
it real or is it?
No,
No,
it's
no,
okay.
Okay, but it's filmed at a real household.
Well, like,
No, it's,
yeah,
it's actors. It's actors.
it's actors, but they film it like
But
at Ermington shops, like the Woolies and the cop shop and the
Jesus
pub and
Christ.
everything. I'm like, I can't. I feel
So there's,
triggered.
there's,
I feel unsafe.
there's the Libos and there's the Maoris. and
Mate,
there's
it's
the-
so
there's
spot
Junkies,
on.
who's-
Spot on.
His name is Junkie, and there's
It's so
you know,
spot.
they're all
Oh,
dog
it's a bit
lodgers and they're
depressing,
all with
isn't it?
gangs and
I get triggered watching. I can't watch
Yeah.
it.
it's
freaks me
it's
out.
entertaining. It's amusing,
So
So
but if
rock-
it's too close to home, it's
Yeah.
probably not good.
the rock bottom was coming. Or
yeah, so the house got raided,
right.
and so I lost my job as the packer
Right.
because they had to move the house. And
Did they, when the house got raided by the police? You mean? Did people get in trouble? Did
no,
they get caught?
we were so close to getting caught.
You
Like,
cleared out beforehand,
yeah.
so you got wind of that?
Literally 30 seconds. So we drove in, it was like, it had undercover parking, and it was me and the guy.
Underground garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we drove in, and I'm assuming they were waiting for 2 guys or a guy on his own,
Right.
because all the guys that drive cars, they're all single guys.
Yes.
So we drove in, it's like a girl and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Do you know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And lock the car, this and that, and this guy goes, your tail light's out, and I'm like, oh really?
This is a copper.
And I saw the gun and his holster,
Jesus Christ.
plain clothes, right? But I saw the holster and the gun.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a fucking copper.
Right.
So we go up in the elevator.
But you just thought that you couldn't tell your boy?
No, I told him.
Oh,
I
right.
seen the gun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I didn't know if the cop was within earshot.
Yeah, because the cop said to us, your tail lights out.
Right. So in the
car
as you
park.
walk into the elevator, you tell the boyfriend.
Yeah, I go, that's a copper, like, we've got to go. So we went upstairs, went into the thing, unlocked the safe, put all the wheat in a bag, and I went down the fire escape, got back in the car and drove out. 2 seconds later, he knocks on the door, I got a search warrant to raid the premises.
And he was in there.
But no weed.
Did they ask where you were? They had seen you go in. But they
Oh,
didn't
it's
see
just,
you
it
out.
was just some random girl.
They searched the whole house, but they didn't find anything.
Yeah, wow.
But, like, my name was on that lease. Like, if we had been 30 seconds later, I'd be fucking gone. Gone.
Was that wasn't a wake up call?
Nah.
though?
I was like, woohoo, we got away with it.
Cheering.
Yeah. I'm so smart. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a close call.
Very close call, mate.
That's a great scene for a movie. You should write a script.
Should.
Maybe. Very close call. And we were doing it in my law subject the other day. Like, we're doing drug offences. And I'm, like, looking up, like, how much is a large trafficable quantity? Because I wanted to know if we got caught, what would it... And, yeah, it would have been large commercial quantity, which is, like,
Damn.
clearly not for personal.
Commercial, though, is pretty small, really. What they consider to be commercial isn't, like, truckloads. It's only...
No.
It's like, what is it, a few kilos maybe, or whatever it is. But
We had pounds of
Yeah.
what's that? So we would have about
Pounds.
7 pounds.
2.2 pounds in a
2
kilo.
kilo.
So that's about 3.5 kilos.
Yeah.
3 kilos.
That's still... You can't be like, I just smoke with my mates.
Recreational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. From there, I got out. I got the little dump of a flat out the back of Rydalmere.
No
Right.
boyfriend. Was there
No
boyfriend?
boyfriend at this
Right.
stage.
Right.
I lost my job packing because the house got raided.
Yep.
So I had to kind of make some money. So I went, I got a job waitressing, cash in hand, at this Italian restaurant in Summerhill.
Right.
And my second night, there's this guy that's hanging around talking to the manager, like this and that. And he was like pretty cute. And I went up to my manager and I said, who's your mate? And he said, oh, he's like a crack addict, stay away from him, he's a crackhead. And I said,
Yeah.
fucking perfect, he's mine. And I walked up, gave him my number, and we started going out.
Oh. You can pick him, can't you?
I love him. But he's like, that is exactly what I need. I need another fucking... And he was a coke dealer.
Right.
So then, like, I guess, like, for that last 18 months, all I did was, like, he moved in within a month, I would say. And I would, like, wake up, punch cones, get in the car, drive around Sydney dealing,
Wow.
go home, punch cones, go to sleep.
Living large.
And it was all right in the beginning. And that's when, like, when I first moved out from that guy, that's when the crystal use got really out of control. Like, that's when I knew Rania and was hanging around those flats, and that's when it was, like,
Psychosis.
that's when I was using, like, quite often, I would say.
And so what was the breaking point?
The breaking point was he was really abusive, like, and we were both, like, really drug fucked, and he was, like, really paranoid. Like, we would be driving down the fucking M4 and there's, like, 8 lanes of traffic, and I would look out the window and look back, and he'd be like, do you know those guys in that car? Do you know them?
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm gonna kill them. Like,
madness.
just madness, like, just off tap. And he was, like, quite abusive, and so the breaking point, I guess, was he was, like, quite sexually abusive.
Right.
And I kind of, like, had pulled him up on it and was like, if you fucking do that again, like, that's rape. Like, I will fucking call the police. And he did it again. And so I called the cops.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And now you're
But you know what? Like, the only reason I called the cops is because I wasn't... Like, I was afraid of him to an extent, but I wasn't, like, in fear for my life or anything like that.
Right.
I knew the only way that I would stay away from him is if there was an AVO in place.
right. You just
That's the only reason
couldn't
I
do
did
it by
it.
yourself.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then I guess I spent, like, maybe another week in that flat on my own using, and I'd never, like...
So did that guy get charged from that incident?
No, I didn't press charges. I just wanted the AVO.
Right.
Because it wasn't about him. Do you know what I mean? Like...
But removing yourself from the...
It was, yeah, I could not stay away from him because
Yeah.
he had the drugs and he had the money.
Yeah.
And, like, I had tried, like, in kind of the 3 or 4 months leading up to that point, I had tried to get clean. So, like, one time I was booked in to go to detox and, like, it was all ready to go and he was going to stay in the flat and he was going to take over the lease and I was going to go.
Yeah.
And I drove to detox, sat in the car park, bawled my eyes out, drove home, kept using. Like, I just couldn't do it. Like,
Yeah.
another time, my mum lived in Maitland at the time. So I caught a train to Maitland and was like, I'm gone. Like, I have to do this. And, like, I think after 2 days, I called him and said, come get me. Bring cones. Like, I just couldn't. I've never felt so trapped. And every other time that I had gotten clean, it was about, like, my external situation and that I couldn't use. But this time it was like I could use as much as I wanted, as often as I wanted. I had drugs on tap. There was no barriers to me using a ridiculous amount of drugs. And I was fucking dying. Like,
Maybe you had to actually
it was like
have
that
stage.
spiritual breakdown.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that mental and emotional I just couldn't, like...
Yeah.
And, like, I remember, like, my mum she always has said, like, you don't use in my house. Like, if you want to use, like, get out. And after he got the AVO served and everything and he was away, like, I wanted to stay in the flat because I wanted to keep using. Like, I wanted to use right up until I went to detox,
Yeah.
you know? And I just called, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm fucking having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she came and got me.
Good on Mum.
Yeah.
Now you're clean and sober.
Yes, but the point of that whole discussion was that in that last, I would say, like, year, that's when I put on heaps of weight because I didn't move and all I ate was KFC and
Yeah.
What do you think
Chicken
you went
salad.
from 60 to close to 90?
yeah, I would have gone to, well, because I was quite thin. My weight back throughout my using really fluctuated depending on
What you were doing?
what I was doing, how much I was using,
Yeah.
what substance I was using. So before then, like, we were, like, pretty bad on the crystal and I was, like, quite thin. I reckon I would have been, like, 55.
Mm.
And then, yeah, I just fucking,
Packed it on.
yeah,
Yeah, 87. That's pretty chunky.
yeah,
My wife, my first, the mother of my 2 sons, my older boys, gained that much weight in pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
60
but
to
you're
90.
pregnant.
I know, but it's a big amount of weight
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a pregnant woman to gain.
Yeah.
So it's a much bigger amount.
Someone who's not
a
pregnant.
woman. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of weight. You know,
Yeah.
60 to 90 that's like me suddenly becoming 150 kilos.
yeah.
What when did the training start and when
So,
did,
I guess
so
I
you got a
can,
bit of clean time and then
yeah, I continued to put on weight, I would say, throughout the first year of my recovery, which is, like, common. Like, they're saying you put down the spoon, you pick up the fork.
yeah.
And I just ate my way through my first year, like,
Yeah.
just, like, I feel good. And I guess I got to, like, almost a year, and I was really, like, I had always been quite slim my entire life, and I just was really uncomfortable in my skin. I didn't even feel like myself,
Sure.
you know? And I was like, I'm almost a year clean and I'm fucking depressed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just kind of started, like, I was living in a refuge in Surrey Hills at the time. And I, like, saw the sign for vision and it said, like, something like, if you don't lose your weight, you get your money back or something. If you
5
don't,
kilos in the first whatever, something like that.
if it's like, if you don't lose what we agree that you will lose, then you'll get your money back. And I
Yeah.
was like, right, well, they're pretty confident about themselves, aren't they? Like,
Yes.
it might work.
Mm.
So I just signed up and just went fucking full out. Like,
and really, like, educate yourself about food.
yeah, well, they do
Training.
like a calorie counter kind of thing.
They do
but
some
have
seminars
the-
and stuff as well, or like.
Yeah, not that many.
Did you
Right.
stick to the plan 100%?
Yeah, like, and actually to the point where, like, I just dropped weight. Like, I think the first week I dropped 3 kilos or something like that. Like, I just dropped, and, like, they weigh you every week,
Yes.
and you fill in a diary every day that
Mm.
counts your macros.
Mm.
And, like, there wasn't a week that I didn't lose weight.
Mm.
Like,
You just
I-
went for it, really.
Oh,
didn't you?
mate,
Like,
like,
just went from.
Once you realised you could do it, you
Yeah.
sunk your teeth in, right? I guess that's the addiction, or not?
It
addiction,
is,
but for sure
yeah.
focus and the dedication. to
Yeah.
it. The dedication to it that you applied to other things prior to that.
Yeah. And I guess like at the end, like, so I did that for about a year. So
Where are we now? Where are we now in terms of?
Oh, where are we now? So I'm 3.5 years clean. So
it's about 2016, a year into it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So this was like from year 1 to year 2 of my clean time.
Yes.
I just got so obsessed, like absolutely obsessed with it. Like, and I had all these little rules for myself that I know now don't actually matter that much.
With
like
training and eating.
With training and eating, like I couldn't eat 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours before
When
I trained.
When I met Maddy would ask me questions like, I'm eating carbs after 6. I'm like just all this obsessive stuff, right? And I say just relax, maybe just, and she go, no, I've got to do this, this, and this, and this is what works, and I'm like, maybe just chill a little bit, just get really strong, and because you were thrashing yourself with your training, like
so I
circuits
did,
and
like I did hit like 3 or 4 times a week. I did cardio every single day.
Yes.
Every single day.
Yes.
And I think I did weights maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah.
And I just thrashed myself, like, and like I had like
So pretty much probably averaged twice a day of training. Right?
Yeah.
And it worked to get the weight off initially.
Yeah, it worked initially.
But when we met, you sort of plateaued with everything, and just I think mentally as well exhausted.
Well, yeah. And this is the thing about vision is that they do all their calculations in this computer system thing. So they put in like your weight, and then they put in your goal weight, and then it calculates your macros for you.
Yeah.
So I started in a deficit of at like 1,700. Was what I started, and every 9 weeks, I think their cycles are. They dropped it again.
So what? Because what were you when we?
So at the end of it, I was on 900 calories a day.
900 calories
for 6 months.
For 6 months.
Oh Jesus!
And thrashing yourself in the gym.
And cardio twice a day.
How could they justify that when she was losing? If you were on 1,700 calories, right, to start with?
Because every time you go back in after your 9 weeks, they do it again, and they put your weight now and your weight what you want to be, and it drops your macros.
Yeah, but his point is you could probably kept on that and still lost fat.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess it keeps working.
See, I ate 80 grams of carbs a day for 6 months.
Jesus.
80 grams was my carb limit.
And did you binge? Were you binging much?
No. Fuck no.
That's
I was like, fucking, and I was so tired. Like I wasn't. I don't even know if I identified hunger as a feeling at that point. I think I'd just been so hungry for so long. It was just my new normal, and like I was exhausted. Like I'd go to uni, I'd come home, nap, wake up, and walk an hour to a meeting, and that was my cardio for the day.
An hour.
An hour, yeah.
On 80 grams of carbs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Respect. But it's not sustained. It wasn't. Well, you sustained it for 6 months.
Yeah, and then I had many times where I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I'd like break down.
Yeah.
But then after a couple of days, I was like, I can do this. It's fine. It's gonna work really well.
Straight back onto the same.
Yeah. And also, I actually always liked to be under whatever the app told me to be.
Just to be a bit harder on yourself.
So I was probably actually eating up 800 calories because I liked it to be under, because that meant I was doing well.
Yeah. I get it.
I think there's a flaw in that system by Vision to drop down that low calories.
Oh, absolutely.
When she was making progress at 1,700 and at 1,300, still making progress. See, when I've got people for competition, if they're dropping half a kilo a week or whatever, I leave them on I don't touch the calories.
Exactly.
Leave them without.
Yeah. Until it plateaus.
Until they stop dropping it. If
they just kept dropping.
If they plateau out and they don't lose any, I'll tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, or just give them a little bit of extra cardio. But I really try not to change the food because you've got to keep your energy up. Like was proven with you, you are tired all the time. It's really not healthy, that method.
I was just obsessed. Like, I would never eat out, ever. Like, people would be like, oh, we're going to go for dinner after this. I'd be like, can't, got to go home.
Yeah.
I weighed absolutely everything. I was just obsessed.
So what was your goal weight then? During that whole process, if you started out around 90, what did you have?
Well, this is the thing. I identified my goal weight as being 55.
Yeah.
But like when I say I want to do 55, I had an image of what that looked like.
Right.
And that image is of someone who is weight training and is very muscly and very toned.
Yeah.
And I thought if I get to 55, I'll look,
You
like,
look like
that.
that.
Right.
And it's like, I was
Yeah,
skinny
but she
fat.
wasn't following
Yeah.
the right recipe to get to that.
No.
No.
And I kept saying to her, just come do a workout,
Yeah.
do some squats and some deadlifts, and
So she was
No.
she was starting at the same place, finishing at the same place, but not like the weight. You could have got down to 55, but you weren't taking the right path to
no,
get there.
that's right. But you did
And
eventually.
I had like hardly any muscle as well.
Yeah, but then you did. You started.
Yeah, so then I guess I started going to Fitness Playground.
Okay, oh, that's right. Yeah. That's
remember
right. I forgot
little
that.
weird in the
Which-
between bit?
which
Yes.
Marrickville.
Oh, yeah.
Because I knew someone who was a trainer there.
That's right. Yeah.
And he had, like, he knows his stuff around, like, food and, because the first thing he said was, like, this is ridiculous.
What's his name?
Angelo.
No, I don't know.
Is this
So-
someone's son? Yeah.
No,
Bodybuilder's son.
no.
Okay, I'll tell you. Ask you off camera. I
Okay.
think he's someone's famous bodybuilding son. No?
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway,
Why can't you say it?
oh, we don't need to say it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
He got a little under the weather before
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Arnold competition.
Yeah. So he
That one.
he told you to eat more.
He was like, we need to he's like, you cannot lose. Like, where am I going to drop you to? Like, you can't. So he kind of put me up, like every week added 100 calories until I was at
That's
2,000.
good. That's someone who knows his shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
obviously you realise this, but if he suddenly instantly just put you back 1,000 calories higher, that
Yeah.
would
Body
fuck
would
you.
freak out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to
So he
slowly
put,
get
a week at a time, all the way
I think
back
that
up.
term is reverse dieting.
Yeah, that's what he
Oh,
said.
yeah, okay.
And I put
That's a
on...
new term.
That's a new term.
Yeah.
So in that 1,000 calorie difference, I think I put on like 2 kilos.
Right.
That was like, which is nothing.
But it's probably
you
some of
know?
it was probably muscle as well.
Probably.
You know.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was very, like... I think he has a very different training style to what you have.
What was his exercise programming like? The exercises.
So it was all supersets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Compound like big movements though.
it
Some.
was still very busy.
Deadlifts, lat pull downs, bench presses.
Yeah. So we did do deadlifts, but so it would be 3 exercises, 3 supersets, and one would be like
3 exercises back to back.
yeah, so 6 exercises back to back. 3 supersets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be like
Oh no, pairs. So 3 lots of 2 exercises
yeah,
back to back without a rest.
yeah,
Then a break. Then another 2 exercises.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
And it would be like 1 legs, 1
Up and
back. Yeah, 1 legs, 1 back.
Blood shunting.
1 legs, 1 back. 1 legs, 1 back.
Common thing for
And his was all about like he didn't like increase weight. Like it was more about you do 10 reps. You do that 3 times, and then you move on.
Yeah,
it's valid.
it's valid, but again, I've been
respecting
saying to this lady at this stage,
Lady,
woman,
girls.
strong, independent female,
That's right.
that maybe she should just train like a bloke, get strong, lift some heavy shit, slow down, like calm down, and get really proficient in the basic movements.
How long? After how many times advising her?
Quite a lot. That's
Like
6
6
months.
months.
That's
Take
6
your
months.
advice.
6 months.
6
Took you
months.
6
Yeah.
months to go, maybe I'll try
Maybe
that.
there's something in that.
I get these messages from her. If I've eaten this, should I do this? And like,
Literally, like I'm just obsessed.
I've just eaten
like,
10 biscuits. Should I just not eat now?
and like it got to the point where in that stage I was binging and purging.
Yeah, well, it had to fall off of it. The wheels had to
Yeah.
fall off
Well,
of it.
so
Yeah.
Oh,
stuff
purging.
it,
You
and
didn't tell me that.
Oh, really?
You left that
See,
bit of information out.
I've done plenty of binging, but I don't purge because
Well, I would binge and then freak out and then
Try that.
purge. Yeah.
I tried a couple of times, but my gab reflex didn't work.
that could, yeah.
Anyway,
I would
Let's leave
binge and then go and do an
I did
hour
try it. I actually did try it with,
Well, I
a,
would do
tooth-
both.
with a toothbrush. And it would work, but like it would.
Is that all you tried with?
And it would. Only a bit would come up. It's a fairly painstaking process.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Oh,
it's not
fuck
great.
that shit.
It's not optimal.
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You don't do that anymore, do you?
No.
Good
I
girl.
haven't done that in ages.
Yeah, cool. Do you feel a bit better now about your training, your eating, and well, not really? It's just all madness, still, isn't it?
I'm way better than what I was.
Because I'm the same. I'm exactly just as fucking insane.
Yeah. I'm way better than what I was. And I've got some acceptance around, like, you know, like there are girls at the gym and I think like I would love to look like them, and I would. And if I worked at a gym and my whole life was the gym, I probably would look like that. But that's not my reality. Do you know what I mean?
You
like,
have a regular job, another job.
I have a job,
Studies.
like I go to uni, like.
But the other,
That's
as my
not
therapist
mine.
said as well, we see whether it's on social media or in the gym, we see a snapshot of them
Yeah.
at their best.
Yes.
We don't see the madness behind the scenes and
Yeah.
their body dysmorphia.
That's
and
right.
their
It's taken 20 or 30 or more photos to get that one photo.
Yeah.
Some of the half the time. Right?
Or
Yeah.
even just when you see them in shape, training, and they look great, you don't see what their relationships are like, or you know, if they're purging or binging and purging, or it's.
And like this is what I've said to you is that like my primary identity has to be a recovering addict. My primary identity can't be fitspo or bodybuilder or whatever.
Fit chick.
And that can't. My primary identity has to be staying clean and staying sober.
Yeah.
And not destroying my life with all my other behaviours.
Until
I have a quality of life.
Yes, and watching those behaviours, like the fit chick behaviour, doesn't undermine your recovery. You know, like
What?
well, like if you're wholly focused on being the fit chick Instagram girl.
Well, I was like that.
Yeah.
You know, and I was miserable.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Izzy.
Go get him. Oh, he gonna cry.
Ace is woken up.
Oh,
It's very sweaty. Your thighs are sweaty.
your thighs
Might
are
be
sweaty.
mine. That leads me to that point because you tagged me in a post by Body Posy Panda,
Yeah.
Megan Jane Crab.
Yeah. I love her.
She's a big girl.
Yeah, she is.
Unfollow anyone who doesn't make you feel empowered, informed, or inspired.
And that's what I kind of did with Instagram. Oh, there's no. A while ago was that I did a big cull,
Yeah.
and I culled all the like, you know, really fitspo, amazing body, perfect girls.
Yeah.
Because all they did was make me want to kill myself.
Yeah.
And I started following people that were like, basically their message
you're
is,
okay.
you're okay as you are. Do your best and you're okay.
My therapist told me the same thing. She said, "Stop to unfollow. Stop following bodybuilders."
Yeah.
Did you?
No, of course not.
Not yet.
Why would you do something that's good for him? It's ridiculous.
It's really hard. It's and working in a gym, it does my head in.
And I think for me, I guess the biggest transition, like when you're dieting or, you know, whatever, and you have a goal in mind, and your goal is a particular body image or a particular image of what you want to look like, when anything comes in that threatens the idea that you're going to get to that goal,
Right.
you fall apart.
Yeah.
Because everything is focused on that. So when something comes in and goes, you know what, like you might not actually get there, you fall apart. And so letting go of the fitspo and the bodybuilders, that's kind of saying, you know what, like you might not actually ever get there.
No.
And that's threatening.
Well, for me, the struggle was I did get there. I would get there multiple times in multiple competitions, but still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
This doesn't.
He's got a different brain to us, Stephen.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys are fucked up.
But you don't relate to any of this, do you? Any of this insecurity or
Obsession. Fixation.
Like, I know when you get out of shape, you're not happy about it, but you don't obsess about it either, do you?
No.
He's
Can't even
like,
fucking...
can't relate, babes. Like, I've
So,
got nothing.
all right, and you've gone through periods where you've just binged on chocolates and stuff like that, and you've like
I feel guilty.
but you don't hate yourself.
No.
No, like I want to hang
Like
myself.
me too.
I
I'll
want to
eat
physically,
binge,
yeah.
and actually there'll be so much self-loathing.
Yeah.
I maybe I justify it in some way and accept my justification.
Right.
And it's dealt with. That's it. So I can move on.
Right. Okay.
Even like there've been.
I would think about it for 7 days.
But there've been months where I've eaten shit every day.
Yeah,
Always run.
I
But it's
know.
not all day long. It's like really good for 3/4 of the day and just
Nah.
Yeah, but it doesn't impact on your self-esteem though,
No,
does it? Like you
no.
don't feel less of a person.
Less
Like I'm a shit cunt basically. If when I like you know what I
I'm
mean? You
not
know.
worthwhile
Like,
taking
I'm
up
a
space on
fucking
this
scumbag.
planet.
It's like
Yeah, no, I guess
Just
there's
built differently.
Other things in my life balance that.
See,
Even
balance.
Even if there are
human
thoughts
being.
of that, you know, kids, the love I have for my kids and they have for me.
Okay, this
And-
this normalcy. This is a lot I try
Yeah.
and talk to you about.
yeah,
Is that
And that lifts me up. You know, even when I've been under the hammer, been fucking
yeah.
dealing
And he's
with,
had a tough year.
dealing
Fucking
with
tough year.
what I've been dealing with.
Yeah.
yeah?
I actually, you know what, I've thought to myself, and I thought, you know, if I didn't have Jade,
Yeah.
I didn't have my sons,
Yeah.
if I didn't have those things, I can see how people spiral downwards and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can go that way.
Yeah.
I can see that. So I'm very grateful to have those very positive things in my life
Yeah.
and training that
Yeah.
keep me up.
But
keep
I
my head
guess-
above
No,
water.
I mean, like, I am grateful, like, of those things that I
And
have.
I guess the difference is that there's no like you've got perspective about
yeah.
it.
When I'm in,
You're like, this
Yeah.
is one shitty thing and it's
Yeah.
horrible
Doesn't
and it's
define
traumatic
me.
and it's awful, but there are all these other good things and that
Yeah.
balances it
Yeah,
out.
but I have
Whereas-
thought if I didn't have those things, I can 100% see how people spiral downwards and fucking end it or
And I
whatever.
guess the difference is that with Steve and I, it's like this traumatic, awful thing is happening, and there's all these other
Ways.
good things, but they're not in the picture.
Yeah,
that's
right.
right.
They don't
when
exist.
When
They
you're in
trumps it. It trumps those
it,
other
yes,
things.
when you're in it,
No,
it's
those other things don't even exist.
That's what I'm saying. The
What
bad
kids?
stuff is way heavier than the
It's
other.
just- yeah.
and that's why, like, I do things like write a gratitude list every day and things like that to actually
Balance
I
that
have
perspective.
I have to put action into
Yeah,
do what you probably do normally.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, okay. It's just, I guess, the way the brain is wired slightly differently,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah. I don't know if it's genetic or environment. Probably a bit of both.
All the
Both.
different
Both.
things that I've experimented with, the substances and stuff, which I've tried, different stuff. I've just been able to take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't relate.
Yeah. As I know, I've got another person I know that we can buy something and do
Have
a
a
line and then put it away for a month.
Yeah.
Freak.
And like bizarre behavior.
Yeah,
Bizarre.
that I'm the equivalent of that. Not that that particular thing is my thing,
Yeah.
wherever it was, but
Yeah.
but that would be me. I could
Yeah.
I could just like keep
Why bother?
something for months.
I just think.
I can't even do that with chocolate. Like like
yeah, neither. Although I've had a packet of digestives in my drawer for like I've
oh,
only
yeah,
had
that's
one at a
'cause
time.
yeah, that's because you're not at work every day.
Yeah, but I've only had one at a time for a
Oh,
while.
good.
now.
That's good.
Yeah.
They are nice. Those
See, and I
digestives.
can do one at a time with some things.
Right.
Like I
What
have.
about saving for special occasions?
Oh
You never do
mate,
that?
nah, I'm shocking.
I
with money.
remember.
No, I don't mean money.
Oh.
I just ate something.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I remember. Well, I must have been under
Cool,
10 years old in England, and from one of my birthdays, I was given a huge box of chocolates, like huge.
Gone.
And I waited till everyone else had gone home, and I took it into my bedroom and ate the whole thing. Hid from my family and ate the whole thing in one go.
My mum tells this story about when I was like young, like 3, and me and my sister were both sick and went to the doctor and we're in the chemist and she's getting scripts and she's busy at the counter and blah, blah, blah. And she turns around and I've taken a packet of lollies off the shelf, opened them, shoving them in my mouth to the point where I'm choking and crying because I'm choking.
But
and
still
she's
going.
going, give me the lollies. And I'm going, no. And I'm putting more in.
Compulsion.
See that chocolate story you just told.
Yeah.
I would have hidden it from my family.
Yeah, and have
hidden
one
it
at a
And
time.
treasured it for a
Had like
year.
3 a day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
stretch it out for 2 months.
And that's what my brother would do.
yeah.
I would eat everything, and then I'd steal his, because he would taunt me by eating one at a time.
Weird, hey? Weird, that's-
But on that body positive thing, I tagged you in that body positive panda, the big chick with the blue hair,
It's like all different colours.
when did you do that?
recently.
No, I haven't looked for a...
Unfollow anyone who doesn't make you feel empowered, informed, or inspired. Where's the line though? That you, I mean,
Lots
Here
of
we
things
go.
can inspire you.
no, I'm serious though.
I know you're being serious. Continue.
Where is the line where something can inspire you, and not lead you over the deep end, and like
It-
I can't
differentiate.
yeah.
I think it's like inspire you, as in like lifts your spirit, not
Yeah.
inspire you as in makes you want to kill yourself, or makes you
Yeah.
think, "Oh, I'm not as good as that."
Yeah, actually,
Or-
good point.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Inspire is like to lift someone up.
There's a guy called Derek Wilder or something. He's an ex-Iraqi. He's a veteran. Had his leg amputated, and he posts about having his no leg and still training hard, and
That's
yeah,
inspiring.
it doesn't make you feel less than.
No.
It makes you feel like you should work harder,
Yeah.
and but not in a way that makes you feel. Yeah,
And like it's for me, like it's just about not punishing myself.
yeah,
Like don't do anything that's do no harm to self or others. You know.
Yeah. yeah. You should be vegan.
That doesn't count.
Apart from eating big juicy steaks. You're off camera, Kev.
Yeah. Oh my.
No, he's not.
No, so I
Feeding a baby.
was listening to. There's a podcast by Josh Zepps, who's an Australian guy, and he was interviewing Bettina Arndt. Do you know who she is?
No, but I think I've read an article.
She's a
about
sex
it.
therapist. She's
Okay.
one of Australia's first female sex therapists, clinical psychologist.
Get my pinky.
Can we get a shot of Ace? Has Ace been on?
Yeah, we had him on at the
Alright.
start.
You got my pinky. Okay, sorry. You should have
My point is, she's doing these talks, which are highly
controversial.
controversial because she's saying about the, and I'm inverted commas.
I
fake
think I've
rape.
read this article.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even like I was at uni for a bodybuilding show at the University of New South Wales, I think.
Yeah.
There's all
That's
these
where I go.
there's all these signs saying things like
In Newtown.
Kensington.
Oh, that-
Kensington, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's signs saying it's not okay and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, because there was a report released last year on sexual assault at university campuses, and in particular in the residential colleges.
Right.
And the report, it's just like it's rife, like sexual assault and sexual.
And her point was we need to define better what sexual assault is because some people were defining sexual assault as uncomfortable looks.
Well, I think there's a different. Well,
That's
it's
a
either
bit
sexual
much,
assault
isn't it?
or like harassment.
Right.
Yeah, but if you look at someone and look them up and down,
As
as one may do in everyday life, anyone.
No, I don't. Well, I think
is
that's.
that considered. That's just
I
normal, right?
wouldn't consider that a sexual harassment. But if you're on a train at night by yourself and there's a guy in the corner that is continually staring and being
And their shoulders
intimidating,
jiggling.
that's harassment.
when I was at uni, I was doing performing arts, so everybody was sleeping with each other. It was just on for young and old, and I was 18, and the actual women were quite aggressive, like quite
Yeah.
forward in their
Hunting.
I don't know. It just there's this. It seems that there's this culture now where, with like microaggressions and things like that. Where have you heard that term? Heck, you're not woke either, are you?
Sorry.
Microaggressions is where people are getting trouble because they've perceived someone as being aggressive, and it might just be they've raised their voice or something. It's people are hypersensitive. I'm not in any way discounting that sexual assault is a terrible thing,
Yeah.
but it just seems that people are hypersensitive to anything.
That might offend them or upset them.
Yeah, and to the point where and context isn't even.
But I think I would prefer to have a hyper sensitivity to that kind of stuff than like a blanket kind of
But
everything's okay.
You can be messing with people's lives then. If you're accused of sexual assault and.
Do you know how many people get falsely accused of rape? It's like, you can look it up, it's like 0.0008% of males will get falsely accused of sexual assault.
Okay, I don't know the numbers.
98% of females get sexually harassed or assaulted within their lifetime.
Yeah.
So it's like, really, what do you want to focus on?
Yeah, sure.
The 0.008% that some psycho has falsely accused them, which isn't right.
No.
But in the scheme of things, proportionally,
It's
not a really big problem.
Yeah.
The
What
big
about-
problem is
What about assault? Not sexual assault. What about false assault claims?
claims.
what do you mean?
Well, the rate's got to be higher than that.
Kevin showed me a video
False assault claim.
Kevin showed me a video last
Yeah.
week of this girl with a hammer, another laughing while her friend filmed her bashing herself
bruise herself.
to bruise herself for.
That's happened to me. I've been falsely accused of assault.
Yeah.
Had to
What-
go to court. It cost me 15 grand with
To
the
get-
lawyers
and
and
then thrown out.
found not guilty.
Yeah, but I'd say that you were in, like, of all.
the exception to the rule.
Yeah, you're the exception to the rule.
Yeah, but it's not like.
I'm not saying that that's not. I'm not saying that's fine.
Hmm.
Like, I'm saying that person should be held responsible.
Maddy's actually doing criminal justice at uni.
Right.
I say I'm doing law, but
Yeah, oh sorry, law.
I haven't
criminal law.
officially gotten in yet.
Criminal law.
Yeah, all kinds of law.
All kinds of law.
Yeah.
What will your job be at the end?
I want to work in strategic litigation, which is kind of like where a bunch of stuff happens and you sue people to make them change the way they behave. So, like the police
Yeah.
or the government or some big corporate fuck up.
So you'll be what? Not defending them, but going.
Yeah, so you like
prosecuting
run test
prosecuting
cases,
them.
yeah, or class actions.
Right.
Yeah, they do it at my work.
Are you
I love them.
doing how long have you got to go with uni now?
Probably like 4 years.
Okay,
Because I've done 2 years of a criminology degree,
right.
where I've done some of the core law subjects,
Mhm.
but the double is 5 years in total.
Right.
So I reckon I've got another 3 or 4 years left.
You went to uni, didn't you?
Mm.
You did maths, didn't you, or something?
I did a few different things.
Okay.
This is like my 3rd degree.
I started out my first year of uni. I was first year out of school.
Yeah.
17, turned 18 that year.
Yeah.
It was engineering,
Do you want me to get
intermediate,
that?
Oh, right.
which is
Very
yeah, it
smart.
was maths,
Yeah.
physics,
Yeah.
physics, chemistry. It
Yeah.
was fucking
Horrible.
torturous.
Mm.
I was 18, and that was the year I started training as well.
Yeah.
Turned 18 that year. I was interested in going to the gym, playing rugby, and drinking beer and trying to pick up chicks.
Yeah.
Trying to get
Yeah.
laid. That's all I wanted to do.
Yes.
And I wasn't interested in learning chemistry and all that rubbish. So I failed 2 subjects
Right.
the first year. But I still thought that's what I wanted to do, so I went back the next year and repeated those 2.
Yeah.
Which was 1 maths and 1 chemistry. And then I picked up, I had to be full time, so I picked up a bunch of other subjects just for fun that would give me like long weekends
Yeah.
and time off so I could go skiing.
Right.
So I picked up philosophy,
I've done philosophy.
anthropology,
Awesome.
education, all these arts subjects,
Right.
Yeah.
which was completely different to
Engineering. Yeah.
yeah, and I loved them. I
Mm.
really enjoyed them, especially anthropology, studying societies and cultures.
Mm.
So the first one I did was anthropology of the South Pacific. So it was all about like Fijians and Papua New Guineans
Right.
and cannibals and
Right.
Have
all
you
that
heard
stuff.
about that island off Papua New Guinea that's still
untouched.
No. Yes.
No, I have not.
It's off of India, and like they have, it's like untouched. You're not allowed to go there.
Oh,
And
is
they,
that where that guy got?
yes, because he tried to approach them, and they
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
killed him
yeah.
with a spear.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like we don't know anything about them because we're not allowed.
yeah, that's
That's
pretty
pretty
awesome.
good thing.
So cool. Hey,
That's
I love
what
it.
I found fascinating when I was
Yeah.
studying that, like exactly like that. That's
Well,
what we
they
learned.
still exist.
So I dropped the maths and the chemistry and
Yeah.
picked up more anthropology. Ended up doing a degree in anthropology.
Yeah. Right.
Mad.
Yeah, so that's the degree I have,
Right.
which I never used.
How, yeah.
And then personal training.
If I could have, if I could go back and start again, I would either have gone and done a physical education degree, or probably done a builder's apprenticeship, become a builder,
Okay.
Yeah, they get paid here.
carpenter.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Imagine if you become a carpenter
Has no hair for it.
in the early 90s. And
Oh, you'd be-
Yeah.
well, you'd be
housing
retired
boom.
now.
Yeah, for sure.
Ace is out cold.
Yeah.
Well, if you like what you're
look at
listening
that
to, you need to subscribe or like or comment on our YouTube channel and on Instagram, The Push Podcast.
The
And what's our email address?
The push.
Do you have an email?
Yeah, the push _2018 at Gmail.
No, you fucked it up, man.
I know. What are you gonna do next
The
year?
Instagram
Next year.
is the push _podcast.
Yes, it is too. Where does 2018
The,
come
the,
from?
the Gmail is the push podcast 2018.
Okay,
There's no underscore in that. You just completely fucked that up.
so just do something
just like and subscribe to this and send us comments.
and yeah, make a comment. And do you want to give any shout outs?
Jessica, we're so jealous.
Jess follows us all the time. She's
She's
a
like,
friend
oh
of
my
Maddy's.
god, are they on radio? I'm like, no, babes.
We should be though. They're fucking great.
I listen to the guys on Triple J every morning. Gee, they're shit. We can
I
do
love
something.
them.
Oh,
Did you know they called me?
no.
But I was too nervous, so I said no.
Oh.
I know, I hate myself.
They're such little boys.
Called you for what?
That because, okay, they do this thing about like, do you wear deodorant to bed? That they don't wear deodorant to bed.
Yeah.
But one of their girlfriends is like, always wears deodorant to
So
bed.
do I.
That's
I
my
do.
situation.
I do that.
I
What-
just shower at night. And
Yeah.
Put deodorant on.
Put
No,
deodorant
I go
on.
to bed clean.
Nah,
No,
you're
I'm not.
filthy.
But the missus, I don't need to. I'm not stinking, but
No, it's
she
not bad.
does. She puts deodorant on before bed.
Yeah, I do as
I
well.
feel like, yeah, so do I. I feel like those two boys are really a bit grungy. I don't know what they look like.
I never listen to that. I listen to Kyle and Jackie O.
Oh,
course
yuck. Yuck.
What do you mean, yuck?
How
gross.
could you listen to those?
Kyle's fucking hilarious.
Oh, he's
Oh,
vile.
He is.
He's brilliant. He's so funny.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, he's. Oh,
He's
no.
hilarious.
On that note,
He's
you're not my friend.
hilarious.
You're not my friend anymore.
Why don't you like him?
This is Steve
He's just
Machine
a
Curran.
pig.
He's funny.
We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm fucking hot.
Kevin, Big Daddy Allwood,
And little daddy down here, little Ace.
Oh,
Little Ace,
Yes.
and Maddy. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Peace out.